My family thought I was going on a villain arc when I stopped saying yes to everyone. Growing up, I was the girl who never said no. I was the one who stayed late at work to finish other people's reports, the one who let my cousins borrow my clothes and never return them, and the one who always apologized even when I wasn't wrong. My family called me their angel, but deep down, I felt like a doormat. I was exhausted, burnt out, and felt like my own life was slipping through my fingers while I carried everyone else's burdens. My mother and siblings just assumed I would always be there to pick up the pieces, never realizing that every time I said yes to them, I was saying no to myself. The shift happened 2 months ago, right after my grandfather passed away. He left me a small, locked wooden chest and a note that said, "Open this only when you've had enough." That night, after my sister called me crying because she needed me to pay her rent for the 3rd time this year, I finally snapped. I opened the chest. Inside wasn't money or jewelry. It was a stack of journals detailing how my grandfather had spent his entire life being taken advantage of until he lost his business. He wrote, "The world will call you a villain the moment you start setting boundaries. Let them." From that day on, I changed. I stopped answering late-night favors. I moved into my own place without giving anyone a spare key. I started putting my career first. My family was shocked. They started whispering that I had changed, that I was being cold, and that I was on some kind of villain arc just because I was finally standing up for myself. The suspense in our house grew thicker with every passing week. My mother stopped calling to ask how I was and only called to complain about how difficult I was being. My siblings blocked me on social media, telling everyone I had become greedy and heartless. I felt a crushing sense of isolation, wondering if my grandfather's advice had actually ruined my life. Every time I sat alone in my new apartment, the silence felt like a heavy weight. I started to question if I was actually becoming the bad person they said I was. I felt like I was waiting for a final confrontation, a moment where the bridge would be burned forever, and I would be left with nothing but my boundaries. Yesterday, the suspense finally broke when my mother showed up at my door, looking humbler than I had ever seen her. She didn't ask for money or a favor. Instead, she sat at my table and confessed that for the first time in years, the rest of the family had actually started working and taking responsibility because I wasn't there to save them. The real secret was that my grandfather hadn't just left me journals. He had left a hidden trust fund that would only be unlocked for the entire family once I proved I could lead them with strength instead of weakness. He knew that by forcing me to play the villain, he was actually teaching the whole family how to be heroes of their own lives. My mother didn't come to argue. She came to thank me for finally having the courage to say no. I realized then that sometimes you have to let people see you as the villain just so you can finally save them.